Hi out there in the YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. As you saw from the title, I am no longer a flat earther. I'm sorry, y'all. All you nice people, like Patricia Steer, wonderful soul, Mark Sargent, people that want to share information and they don't want to shit on other people, but just listen to them and hear them out. Patricia Steer had history in radio broadcasting, so that's why she's such a good speaker. And not only that, but such a good listener. And I think that listening is pretty much 50-50 as important as it is, to tell others your perspective. And if, treat others as you want to be treated. Oh, imagine if everybody did that, right? Now, with the flat earth, I wanted to explain why that's just not really my thing anymore. I know that might be really disappointing to some people, but I feel I should be honest. And I would like to thank Nathan Oakley and his really rude videos. Still love you, Nathan. I know you think I'm a retard, but I don't think you are. I don't think anyone really is. I think that everyone just comes to their own conclusion based on their own programming. Life circumstances, things you've been taught, things you believe. But that doesn't mean that it's actually reality. And in our worlds today, I feel that so many people are living in this kind of like a dream world, a world that is just so far removed from this one, because they can't deal with this one. The most obvious things are denied. And that's kind of why I wanted to thank Nathan in this video. And it's not sarcastic. It's really not. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because him being so rude to so many of his guests or people that he was debating, really, Nathan wouldn't listen to them. He refused to listen in many circumstances and denied evidence. Just denial. And some of the points that the people actually raised were really, really good points. And it kind of led me to wonder, and question, from a deep psychological stance, why people go into any fringe or conspiratorial topic is out of mistrust. And yes, there's been many, many reasons, with MK Ultra and, I don't know, Raven's Claw or something like that happened in Ontario. Montreal or Ottawa or something like that, MK Ultra in Canada, basically. Yeah, lots of stuff has happened. But does that have anything to do with the shape or size or anything to do with our planet? I mean, it doesn't. And I will admit, there are oddities. There are some weird kind of things, with the Michelson-Morley experiment, not being able to show that there's a movement of the Earth. That just shows from that experiment that there's no movement. In no way should that even be used as a point for flat Earth, because that doesn't determine the shape. And to go back to why I wanted to thank Nathan is because on one of my last videos, he wanted me to explain the R value and like how they, get this value. And I mean, it's trigonometry. I mean, I went to college and I graduated with an 80% average. I'm not stupid. And I can understand many different concepts. Just because the concept might make sense doesn't mean it's true. So I keep a lot of things kind of like on the back burner, if you know what I mean. But I don't forget them. I don't deny them or create like psychological psychosis where I just completely blank out from those things. And I will admit that light can do some weird things when it comes to, with the flat earth. They use that quite a lot. How far we can see. I even use that. Like, I don't remember how long ago it was. It was over a year. But I did a video on flat earth and I could see the CN Tower from Lovekin, Ontario. 45 miles. Woo! Right? That's and you could see a lot more of it than you should on a ball. But light can bend. I mean, and it's not a mysterious or magical phenomenon. It's light. Have you ever seen on a road on a hot day? Light can distort. And it's more, you cannot trust just what you see with your eyes due to light bending. And asking me about and he said pretty please with sugar on top. Would you please explain it to me? Well, it's Pythagoras, trigonometry, as I explained. And using a shadow, they were, 360 degrees in a circle, right? Well, the angle difference between two different locations on the exact same day was using math. Maybe I'll put in a little thing or something. It's not that hard of math. Like when I was actually in college, that was something that we did. So it's just a ratio from the circle and the shadow. Now, a lot of people could say that, well, that just shows the equatorial length, which could still work on a pancake. But how do we have pole stars? Because we should stop maybe focusing on just what we see with our eyes, because light can bend and be distorted. And if you've ever had a book on illusions or that kind of thing, not everything is just as we see with our eyes. It can be like a hall of mirrors or a fun house. And so, think about that. If light bends and distorts and warps due to heat that's on ground level, like that song that I've been standing at the edge of the water. And she's just looking out at the water, okay? Okay? She should look up. Okay? And that's, as an astrologer, I've always known that the planets and the constellations, there's energies there. That do affect us. And I still am very adamant of that. I'm not saying that mainstream media is just the end-all be-all of the truth. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, how can you have two different points of rotational axis on a flat plane? I used to, now this isn't something that I've always kind of known that, right? Because yeah, I have. Like everyone knows about the pole stars and the Big Dipper and like Draco, the pole star at the other end there. I used to be more on the mental perspective that those kind of things could, we can't always trust what we see with our eyes. So I disregarded it. But really, is that something that we should do? Like, because a lot of these mathematical formulas, and I really want to drive this home with you, okay, is that mathematical formulas can model situations, okay? So even like the acceleration due to gravity, it's due to something, okay? We'll use the word gravity. Or we could call it the acceleration due to falling, okay? Things accelerate as they fall. And using math, you could predict how much it would have accelerated in a certain given amount of time. And it would always work. But that doesn't explain the fundamental underlying principles of why, okay? Now, with that, because I know a lot of flat earthers who watch my channel and like nice people like Nicole Cote, she's one of the people I really like, and it's more about being open and sharing in a kind and compassionate way. And I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm sharing my perspective. And you can disregard it or incorporate it, learn from it, or at least learn from parts. You don't have to agree with everything I'm saying, but do you think that the North and South Pole Star are made up? Like that's a conspiracy or something? Because yeah, there is a lot in our world that, like, and with certain pictures of like, when they've released photos of the globe, and like, I'll put them here, like they vary in sizes. Well, maybe they almost did that on purpose to be like, haha, like they're gonna fight for years on that, like, when really it's not a big deal. Like maybe it was just a camera lens thing or intentional. Who knows? And to keep asking questions of why and why and why really shows a distrust when, it's good to just have trust in the world that we live in. And now I'm going to get a little biblical on you guys, but the whole aspect of like, Jesus dying, do you think he hated anybody? Even the people that drilled or put hammered nails through his wrists? No. Still love. Why? Why? I'm not doing sarcastic or anything. I'm just trying to get you to understand. Because the physical world and our bodies, we place so much importance on these things when it's not important. So it's like a dream. And yeah, I still follow like the Vedas and the teachings with that. Like, I do really think that this is God's dream. And we're all a part of it. And we always will be a part of it. That is the thing. If we want to like be separate and like, because we're angry at things based off of what our ego has created, if your ego created it, it's not real. So, and like, how many people in the world? Like 9 billion, and we're growing and growing and growing. We have to listen to everybody. We have to hear everybody in to our consciousness. And love. Regardless. Like, if people have different perspectives or different beliefs than you, maybe that's because they had different parents. Maybe they grew up in a different location, a different country. You aren't your programming. So don't be so prideful over your programming. Just love. And a big red flag to me is when people don't want to love. Like if you will not listen. So I hope that you listened during my little 13-minute ramble But give me a thumbs up, much love and light, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'm going to continue to make more videos. Just because I'm not doing all this flat earth stuff anymore doesn't mean that I'm against you guys. Okay? I'm not against any people that are flat earthers. And I highly, highly suggest to leave me comments as to why you're still a flat earther to this day. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Mwah. Bye. Let your spirit grow wings and fly with me, and fly with me.